Hi, I'm Wayne Allen Root for Personal Liberty. Here we go again. The latest jobs report came out last week, and it's pure fraud and fantasy. Lies and propaganda passed off as good news for the American people. The reality is this new jobs report is a disaster for America and our middle class. The facts released by our honest and transparent government report 248,000 new jobs created, beating expectations by a mile. The facts report unemployment dropping to 5.9%, the lowest rate since 2008. It's as if Obama is saying if you like your job, you can keep it. But you can't. It's no more truthful or realistic than if you like your insurance, you can keep it. Same fraud, same lies, same propaganda, same Banana Republic media reporting lies, fantasy, and propaganda as truth. Here's the real facts about the latest jobs report. First, the reason unemployment dropped to the fantasy level of 5.9% is that 315,000 more Americans dropped out of the labor force in the month of September. Where did they go? Most of them dropped off unemployment to get on welfare, food stamps, or disability. Job categories used to be policeman, fireman, scientist, butcher, baker. Now we should add government dole. Millions of people get up late, watch Judge Judy and Dr. Phil, and then leisurely open the mail to find their government check. That's their job. This is the Obama economy. He uses the fact that they're not working anymore as a reason to lower the unemployment rate. Where will America get the money to pay for all these welfare, food stamp, disability, and how about Social Security checks for citizens who are never going to work again? We're already broke. This just adds to the crushing, unsustainable $18 trillion debt. This isn't good news, it's a disaster. Adding to the misery, the labor force participation rate just dropped to the lowest level in 36 years. There are now 92.6 million working-age Americans not working. This isn't good news, it's also a disaster. Like those late-night infomercials say, but wait, there's more. How can 248,000 new jobs be a good thing if average hourly wages are stagnant or dropping? And they are. Even the Americans lucky enough to have a job are drowning in quicksand. As Democrat Bill Clinton just admitted, the average American is making less, adjusted for inflation, than the day that I left office. That's what Bill Clinton just said. The middle class isn't getting richer, it's getting poorer. Even Bill Clinton understands that under Obama, even those in the middle class who have a job are struggling to survive and struggling to pay bills. This isn't good news, it's a disaster. The bad news is coming in waves. The media forgot to tell you that inside last week's jobs report was this little nugget of reality. The only people being hired are grandma and grandpa. 230,000 of the new jobs went to those in the 55 to 69-year-old age group. In the prime working age group of 24 to 54 years old, 10,000 jobs were lost. What's happening? It means grandma and grandpa are desperate and willing to take grandsons or granddaughters' low-wage job to survive until Social Security kicks in, or maybe even until the day they die to supplement Social Security. That's bad news. The U.S. workforce is now the oldest in history. If grandpa or grandma has to work out of desperation until the day they die, there will never be any decent jobs for the grandkids. This isn't good news. It's a disaster. But I've saved the two worst bits of news for last. What good is the news of 248,000 new jobs if they're all part-time or low-wage jobs? And 4 of the 5 new jobs are in the lowest wage category. Obama's creating a nation of desperate government-dependent minimum wage workers. If you lose your $100,000 job, get ready to clean toilets, flip burgers, mow lawns, or work at the Gap, because that's all that's available among the new jobs. That's if there are any jobs at all. I believe the numbers of new jobs are pure fraud, made up out of thin air. Want proof? The government's own JOLT report came out this past Tuesday. It says monthly hiring has plummeted. It was down 294,000 positions from last month. That's the worst drop since 2010 and the third worst drop since Lehman Brothers collapsed in 2008. This isn't good news, it's a disaster. So now I ask you, how could there be good news on the jobs front at the same time the government's own report shows a severe halt to hiring? Somebody's cooking the books, folks. And how come the mainstream media only reports on the fraudulent report showing jobs created but never mentions the other report, the JOLT report, showing plummeting hiring? Good question. The media is obviously in on the fix. They represent corporate America. Their advertising clients are corporate America. Their companies, the media companies themselves, publicly traded, they're in on the fix. They desperately want you all to believe that all is well, so advertisers keep spending and so their stock prices don't plummet. Can you spell Banana Republic? Welcome to Obama's America, where up is down, where bad news is reported as good news, where old is the new young, because only old people work anymore, where minimum wage is this president's obsession because minimum wage jobs are the entire Obama economy, where it's good news that people stop working and join the welfare rolls because now they're more likely to vote Democrat, and whereas Nancy Pelosi claims food stamps, unemployment, and welfare are the best ways to grow the economy. That's a quote from Nancy Pelosi. Oh my God. These people in charge are either idiots or communists, most probably both. This, folks, is an unmitigated disaster. This, folks, is the murder of the middle class. And this latest jobs report is pure fraud and fantasy. I'm Wayne Allyn Root for Personal Liberty. See you next week for another dose of raw truth. God bless America.